The title of this episode is almost long enough to be a song on Panic at the Disco's A Fever You Can't Sweat Out. You know, it's no wonder that Walt and Locke made such good friends. They both have weird noticing skills.
I think they've been taken.
I wonder, if I facepalm myself, will the mic pick it up? Not only do I not know what Locke is shushing him about, does it really matter since Jack has already done this much shouting?
How could one man drag off two people, one of them pregnant?
You're asking the wrong question, not how. Why?
Why is also a good question, but since I already know why, I'm wondering how, and all Lost has to say to me is screw you, that's how. Oh right, this episode is half Grey's Anatomy. I just love ABC and their cross-marketing techniques.
I heard you're forming a search party. Can I help?
No.
How exactly are you gonna find them?
He's not. He's just here so that I can make Boone his incredibly unhelpful jokes.
Anyone else just gonna slow us down?
Here's a solution. Fire Boone!
We're going north. I suggest you go south.
For anyone who's seen the ending of Season 2, Michael is definitely not someone you should root for, but he definitely doesn't deserve this douchebagginess from Locke. This is what I was doing before my copy of Lost the Complete First Season showed up in the mail. Perhaps Jack is waiting for the plot of Lost Season 1 to show up.
You tell me, if you were upstairs and I was in a restaurant having lunch, then why did they call me?
This episode is full of good questions, and I'm sure they're all buried somewhere at the bottom of Damon Lindelof's Answer Later file.
No.
I don't know if this is a Jack thing or a Matthew Fox thing, but it's really getting on my nerves how much he has to shake his head just to say no.
What? I hunted with Ethan. I spent time with him. I never sensed anything off.
You spent time with this face and never sensed anything off. I'm sensing something off here.
Putting our necks on the line to find Charlie and Claire.
Haha, Next. That's funny. I don't like it when Lost is funny.
You stay with Hurley.
We interrupt this broadcast to bring you everything wrong with the pilot of Lost. Hurley sucks at watching people. Falling on the baby. Thank God Charlie fails at being a rock star. Otherwise we never would have found him.
He's leaving us a trail.
Johnformation. Charlie was somehow able to break this branch and then slip his ring onto it without Ethan noticing.
Take off in one direction, double back in his own footprints.
Sure, Ethan could do that, but it's going to be quite an issue to get Charlie and Claire to double back on their drag marks.
You're just full of surprises.
This isn't a surprise because everyone knows how to double back on footprints.
It's stupid to lie about your name.
The naive nature of this kid pisses me off so much, and I'd love to go through a list of reasons why you could lie about your name, but unfortunately I like to keep these videos short.
Maybe he was already on the island before we were.
Got yourself one hell of an imagination, kid.
An imagination that was potentially sparked by Rousseau being on the island before they were.
And why am I getting the evening news from a 6-year-old?
Sawyer doesn't know how to recognize human growth patterns.
I'm 10.
Okay. Then it must be true.
Well, you know what they say, everything you hear from the internet or from a 10-year-old must be true.
They always wore red shirts, and they always got killed.
25 seconds of Star Trek reference that amounts to nothing and has nothing to do with this situation.
Please slow down!
Jack is walking, Kate is running, yet there's a huge speed difference.
Where'd you pick up the tracking skills, Kate?
Jack asked Kate these questions instead of asking Locke where he got his tracking skills, or his knives, or why. All of these are good questions you should be asking a potential villain.
One day we spent 8 hours tracking deer.
8 hours? Pfft, I spent longer tracking the plot of this episode. Of course, I was probably less successful.
You had no business being in OR.
The hospital had no business bringing an alcoholic in to perform surgery during his lunch break.
You are the most gifted young surgeon in this city.
Is flattery a sin? I think it's a sin. I think it's two sins. Either this pen is not the same pen from earlier, or it somehow magically changed its color. Also, since this pen is red, I can only imagine that the ink is also red, and I'm pretty sure that you're not supposed to sign legal documents in red ink. I guess backgammon is just some magical game where no matter how many times you throw dice onto the board, it will never disrupt your pieces. Because that's how rain works. The sound effects used in this fight are so fake that they deserve a mini bonus round. Jack performs CPR on Charlie for a full minute and a half, but only gives him mouth-to-mouth once.
They brought Charlie back, but he hasn't said anything since he came back.
Everyone expects Charlie to be talkative after he was knocked unconscious, kidnapped, hung by the neck, and had his soulmate abducted by a madman who's probably raping her.
All they wanted was Clan.
Which is why they kidnapped you with her, instead of just knocking you out and leaving you for dead.
No, Boone, we're not lost.
Either that was sarcasm, or Locke doesn't understand what show he's on.
Rushed rushed into surgery with massive internal bleeding. You joined me, and in spite of our most heroic efforts,